Hi, Jeff Stock here from Video Camera Courses, and this is the first in a series of videos to teach you how to start to tell your stories in small steps, rather than thinking, well, I don't want to film anything this weekend because I haven't really got the script for my award-winning short film written. So one of the big mistakes I see a lot of people that I try to help with this stuff is that they think that, oh well, I haven't got anything to shoot, so I won't shoot. And I've had students that have come in with tens of thousands of dollars worth of gear who aren't shooting anything, nothing at all. And I just say, well, go out and shoot something at the weekend. And they go, well, I haven't got anything to shoot. Takes me back to memories I have of footage that I have taken of my children when they were small, when they were young. And they were camera tests. I had bought a new camera, an expensive television broadcast camera, and I was doing camera tests and playing with it. And then now I look back and it's 20 years ago and my children were little tiny children. And I go, wow, if I hadn't have been doing that camera test, I wouldn't have those memories. And the best memories that I have are ones that I keep getting reminded of, these amazing incidents that happen on little family weekends or trips or holidays or basic camera tests. And so we need to get our head around the fact that even if we're just practicing using our camera, the stories that we tell will become priceless in years to come. So don't think, well, what can I shoot? You know, shoot if you don't have children, shoot your mother or father doing something. If your father's doing some work around the house, or you know, if your mother's doing her activities, her interests, whether she's working out or whether she might be fishing, she might be making scones. Try to think about shooting a sequence of shots and then editing them together and telling a little story. Maybe sit her down and do an interview with her, you know, and those things will be priceless in years to come, and they help to develop your skills in storytelling. When you do it, if you do shoot a little interview, then think about shooting some B-roll or overlay of them doing something, and it doesn't have to be exactly what they're talking about. It can be just them doing something in their day-to-day life that when you put it over the story, it turns it into a really nice story. And when you're shooting those shots, think about getting wide shots and medium shots and close-ups and how they will cut together, and you'll develop your storytelling skills by doing simple little stories like that. You know, I've seen people challenge themselves to do one story a day. Might only be 30 seconds. Do a sequence of 6 or 8 or 10 shots that you can cut into a 30-second sequence, and you'll find that your storytelling will improve really quickly. You know, when I started as a young trainee television cameraman, they had me out shooting news stories within a week, and not the important news stories, but I was shooting within a very short period of time. I was shooting 3, 4, 5 news stories a day, and that really makes you have to think about getting those sequences of shots that can be cut together. And I had to edit them, so I learned very quickly that, oh gee, I needed a cutaway here or a close-up there, and if you do that, then you will learn really quickly. The other side of the coin is people thinking that, and I see it all the time on the internet now, you know, people are asking about you know, the Canon 5D Mark III, or the GH4, or the Sony A7S, or a Blackmagic, or a Red, or like, I have to have one of those to make good video. Well, you don't need one of those to tell good stories. You know, at the moment I'm working on a course to teach how to shoot and edit really good stories on an iPhone. In fact, I'm shooting this on the iPhone. I decided that for nearly all of my stuff now I'll use an iPhone, because unless I really need long shots, you know, like the birds here that, you know, I've done with the Canon and a 400mm lens, most things, if you don't need a really long lens, you could do on an iPhone, and they're so simple to use. The footage is excellent, so easy to learn to edit on them, and you've got no excuse. You don't say, well, I haven't got Final Cut Pro, or I haven't got Premiere, or you know, I haven't got even iMovie on the computer. I haven't got anything to edit on. Well, if you've got a smartphone, you have. Just tell your stories on that and practice it. If you've got a DSLR, use that, because every time you pick it up and use it and shoot video with it, you'll become more confident, and then when you do get to a shoot that's really important, that could be the award-winning short film, you're not standing there looking at the camera going, how did I do those slow-mos again, or what do I do if I can't find focus again? You know, with the DSLR, you know, this big hype about, oh, you know, depth of field and shallow depth of field. Well, shallow depth of field can be beautiful, but it can be the biggest headache in the world too. So, and I'll do a blog post on depth of field to really give a good explanation of that, because it can be a headache, a real headache. If people are going out of focus, your shot can be completely mucked up. So the more you practice, the more you shoot, the more you become comfortable with your equipment. You don't want to be looking through the manual trying to work out how to do something when you've got people waiting for you to shoot. So just practice doing simple things with family or friends. If you're going away for a family holiday, think about what we might do. Okay, we're going to go kayaking. Well, let's do a little sequence of shots kayaking that can cut together. Let's just see how many shots we could do and make it look interesting. Yeah. So that's my tip, is to practice. Get out and shoot stuff and practice. If you're using an iPhone and you think, well, you know, the shots are all, I can't zoom in or anything like that. If you can't zoom in, you walk in. It's as simple as that. You just get closer. You know, the advantage about being close is the audio is going to be better that you're listening to. You know, I see so much stuff where people stand back 3, 4, 5, 6 meters back from a group of people when they're filming some activity, and it's just a big boring wide shot, or they'll zoom in and then the pictures are all over the place like that, and the audio is terrible because they're too far away. Whereas if they had have come in close, be 1 or 2 meters away, the camera feels like it's part of the action. The camera and the viewer feel like they're part of the action because they're in amongst it, and the audio is much better. So if you are going to use a smartphone to tell your stories, just walk in closer to do your close-ups or medium close-ups or whatever shots you want to do in close, or the close-ups of action. Just get in close with the phone. You know, many times I've shot with the iPhone and I just get right in their face, and it just makes you feel like, for the viewer, it makes the viewer feel like they're there and they're part of that action and part of that scene. So don't stand back. You know, get in, get those variety of shots, but come in close to it. Come in close to the action. You know, most of us professional cameramen, we shoot a lot of our footage with a wide-angle lens on, but we don't stand right back and shoot it with a wide-angle lens on. We come right in close, and then the viewer feels like they're part of what's happening. So give that a go, and if you've got anything that you'd like to know about storytelling or shooting tips, please leave a comment and let me do it. Let me give you the tips that you want to know about, the information you want to know. Let me know, and I'm more than happy. Love to tell you what I know. Okay, thanks.